Hi everyone, let me share with you my experience at Coworking Bansko. The owners at Coworking Bansko were very friendly. I arrived on, I think, a Friday to sign up to get my membership at the main location, and the main contact was not at her desk, but other people who were sitting at the co-working space let me in. They were like, oh, let me message her, and she's like, oh, you can just stay there, join the barbecue. It wasn't like, oh, you have to pay your membership fee to come to an event. She was like, oh, tell her to come to the barbecue and just check it out and see if she likes it. So I did like the barbecue because I met a few great people, and even the person that let me in, I ended up going hiking with her. Here's a sneak peek of the hike that I did with the people I literally had met less than 24 hours prior. But this is the type of thing that I joined Co-working Bansko for, to meet people, to do fun things. It was very easy for me to meet people while being at Co-working Bansko. And so when I signed up to get my membership, I knew that I was going to continue to meet great people just because of they were telling me of their experience. So I met people on Friday, hung out with them Saturday, and I got to hear 5 people's perspective on what they thought of Co-working Bansko. So that's still the deal for me. The price structure at Co-working Bansko varies. For me, I did pay 74 euros for 1 week, which if you go to the website, it does say it's 139, I believe, for the month. But this is gross. It does not include, I think, taxes or whatever. And then when you pay on PayPal, you have to pay, I think, the 3% fee. So when it was all said and done, I did pay that. Now, I did add on a service for a mail package to be able to receive a package. So that was 8 euros. So that's why my total was so much more than what was listed. But there are so many things from a working perspective that is available at Co-working Bansko. You can rent monitors if you need to. There are ergonomic, I can never say that word right, chairs for you to sit properly when you're working. You can pay more for a dedicated workspace if you want to. So these are like the administrative things that you have access to, along with free coffee. And I did see a printer there, but I'm not sure if how that goes or whatever. But those are some of the benefits that you have when you are a member of Co-working Bansko. Also, there are rooms set up for you if you want to have a private Zoom call or video chat call. There's rooms set up for that as well. So I really thought that was a great feature for the membership. There are a few locations for Co-working Bansko. The main location where you would go to sign up and like get a tour of the co-working space is done at the location in Old Town. And that is where the majority of members hang out and work at. There is a building that's called the Lounge, where a lot of people go to hang out morning, noon, and night. I should mention that Co-working Bansko is 24/7, which is cool because there are people from all over the world with different time zones. So having set hours may not be conducive to a lot of people's work schedule. So, for example, Bansko is 7 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, which is my time zone for back at home. The location in Old Town has a building for the lounge, and it also has a rooftop. The lounge is just like couches where people are generally working, and there's a small kitchen in the lounge. And then, like I said, there's an upstairs rooftop. There's also benches outside, right in front of the lounge that people call it. The other building in Old Town for Co-working Bansko, where you actually sign up at, is pretty cool. There is a social area where there's this desk for people to kind of plug and play. And if you're sitting up there, it's meant for you to like say hi to the person next to you and engage in conversation. You do not have to, but that is what that area is designed for. And then there's also several spaces that is designed for people to strictly just work, meaning that if you go in there, you're basically saying, I am not trying to socialize, I have to get ish done. Right? So the gondola location for Co-working Bansko is located in the gondola area. Right now I am in like the main area of Bansko, like the city center, and I am about a 5-minute walk from Co-working Bansko Old Town. Behind me where you see the mountains, that is where the gondola lift is, and not lift, but the gondola location is, and it is a walk. I do not recommend, if you want to sign up for membership at Co-working Bansko, I do not recommend that you have his place at the gondola location. I actually just ran into a guy who stayed at the gondola location, and I was originally there first as well. And he was talking about how he just it sucked because he had to walk so far every day. There is the gondola co-working Bansko location, but there's not a lot of social activity going on. People just go there truly just to work. So if you're looking for the social aspect of things, you definitely want to hang out at the lounge at Coworking Bansko, and you should try to get you an Airbnb or an apartment to rent near the Co-working Bansko Old Town location. A lot of people who are staying at Co-working Bansko, they are saying that they are paying between 300 euros or 400 euros, just depending, for a month of stay, depending on if they got a studio apartment or a one bedroom apartment. Check out my beautiful Airbnb. I paid $900 a month for this place. I did not know about the low-cost apartments in Bansko until after arriving, and I love my view. I could sit on the couch and look at this view on the balcony and hear the water streams because it was so quiet in Bansko. I loved this apartment. I was truly at peace here. Now, this is a great improvement from the first place I stayed in Bansko. It was a nightmare. Check out the description box to see how I got out of that Airbnb and got a full refund. So after going through that, I just really appreciated this centrally located apartment. Now, let me get back to telling you about Coworking Bansko. I decided to get only 1 week membership at Coworking Bansko. The reason being is I truly wanted to relax when I first got to Bansko. I had been traveling for 2 months, pretty much nonstop of a week stay or 2 week stay, and I wanted to just settle down, get my bearings for my 1 month stay in Bansko. So I could have chosen to get a month's membership, or I could have added an extra week, but honestly 1 week was just perfect for me because I needed some time to myself. I am an introvert, so I needed 2 weeks just to do my own thing, and then I decided the third week in Bansko to make some connections. So I only had 1 week, and that's a little backstory on why. Even though my membership with Co-working Bansko was only for 1 week, it was still a great experience because I met so many people. One common thing is to go to lunch with everyone, which I actually did not experience with Coworking Bansko, the group itself, but everyone tends to go to a restaurant I'm walking to right now, and I'm walking to it from the lounge. And I did have the pleasure of eating here once at my time in Bansko. Food's pretty good, but even if you're not a part of the co-working space, everyone tends to come up here around 12:30, 1 p.m. to eat lunch. So this is the restaurant that everyone walks to from the co-working space to eat lunch between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. So even if you are not at the co-working space and you are new in town and you want to meet people to see what their experience is like, you can come up here. It's a tagline of never eating lunch alone. The owner's pretty cool. The lunch is fairly priced. I'm going to show you a menu of the price of the food. I got the salmon and rice, and it was pretty tasty. So I recommend that you check this place out when you're in Bansko. It's only open from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., I believe. Another way to meet people at Coworking Bansko is through the skill sharing sessions that they have to help your business, such as like SEO tips or courses on digital marketing. There's all type of events that are hosted by Coworking Bansko from other fellow co-working members. So let's say like my skill that I would share and speak on is personal finance, right? I'm a CPA. I've been a personal finance coach for years. I teach kids youth financial literacy. So if I wanted to, I could host a session on personal finance, and it's a way for me to tell people what I'm good at and for them to learn from me. And it's another way to make a social connection or even a business connection. You never know. So whatever your skill is, you can reach out to Matthias or Alina to set up a way to present your skill, or however that works. I did not present anything, so I'm not entirely sure. Bansko is a very walkable city. There are some steep areas that you do not realize unless you are biking. And if you are living at the gondola and you're going to the old town, day after day it can get pretty old walking it, and biking it can be a challenge because of the incline. So some people do rent a car while they're here, but you can really get around without a car. But if you want to go hiking, like in the Perrine, you do need a car to drive up, or you can pay a taxi or take the the actual gondola lift to like the national park, but some locations it you do need a car to get there. So I do want to point that out. And because of that, Coworking Bansko does have 3 cars available for you to rent for 50 leva. I keep saying levies. 50 leva a day. And they have 2 manual options and 1 automatic option. I did need to rent a car while I was in Bansko. The automatic was booked for the time that I needed, but it is a great option to have because 50 leva a day is a steal for what the going rental rate for a car in the area is. Let me give you a mini tour of Coworking Bansko through my eyes. This is a Coworking Bansko Old Town location. This is the area where you would come in to register in the social area I was speaking of earlier in the video. And also this is where one of the kitchens is located. Small area for you to get coffee, cappuccino, free coffee from the coffee machine. And there's filtered water in here as well. There's a bigger kitchen that I'm going to show you shortly. And then this is the booth where you can take your Zoom calls, or if you video calls, whatever, you have to reserve this space. This is the small but clean bathroom, and then making way down to the basement area. This area is where people tend to do like more focused work, but this is also where game night is held in the evenings and where workshops are held that I was speaking of earlier. It's held in this main area down here in the basement. There is another area for more focused work as well, but this is just one spot. There's also another room where you can reserve for Zoom meetings. And this is the kitchen that I was speaking of earlier. This is located outside of the building I just showed you, walking towards the backyard area. Great size kitchen. You can actually cook good food. As you can see, this is a farewell dinner for one of the friends that I made at Coworking Bansko. This kitchen is also where people prep their food for the barbecue on Fridays, but this is like literally the main kitchen area. Now, this is my favorite spot right outside the kitchen. Those windows are going to the kitchen I just showed you, but this is where the barbecues are held on Friday, the potluck barbecues that I was speaking of. It's a small area, but I did just enjoy sitting out here. This is my view from my laptop where I always sit. I will also feed the stray cats that came in the area, but I just really enjoy sitting outside. Now, this tour was through my eyes. There's a lot of stuff that I did not show you. I didn't show you the lounge. I didn't show you the other quiet areas. I don't have the gondola location on this video either, but this is what I experienced at Coworking Bansko. Coworking Bansko is pet friendly. I sat out in the backyard every day, and there were several co-workers that had dogs, and I am not a dog person at all. But if you do have a dog and that may be something you're concerned about, like, oh, if I came to co-working space, could I bring my dog? Absolutely. Some people have their dogs and just let them roam freely. That will be my only, I would say, complaint about the place, because it's like people just think that everyone's a dog lover, and that was pretty annoying at times. But there's also stray cats that roam the area in the backyard as well. I was feeding one of the stray kittens. I'm a cat person, so the cats didn't bother me. And Coworking Bansko has no control really over stray cats that are in the area. But the backyard and stuff is fenced, but people who have dogs are welcome to bring their dogs even to the barbecue, apparently. So that's just something. If you are wondering, if I have a dog, can I bring the dog? Absolutely. My overall ranking of Coworking Bansko is that I definitely would get a month membership when I come back to Bansko. I do plan to come back next summer. It's a good spot to do focused work and just to be out in nature. I made a lot of great social connections with just having 1 week's membership. The internet was really good, which is important for me. And digital nomads who working full time and doing video calls, they had no issues from what I heard. Curious to know more about the beautiful Bansko? Check out the next video shown on the screen right now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.